Hey everyone, happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So I worked on a little bit of this and a little bit of that today and managed to piece together a pretty full day. In fact, I'm going on about 13 hours right now. I need to go home, but let me go ahead and do this video first and then I'm getting out of here. So worked on the gorgeous mouse gray a bit today. Started assembling his front end. So Rafa had previously installed the beam, and I think when we got the car, I think the torsion arms were already on the beam. I don't remember. Either way, beam was on, torsion bars were on, but the spindle assemblies were not on. And so anyone who's familiar with link pin Volkswagens know there's shims in there, top and bottom, and then inside and outside. That's how you set the link pins so they don't bind in there. It's pretty straightforward, but you just got to be kind of careful taking measurements, and then I do a lot of test fitting to make sure it's not going to bind. I don't just purely sort of blindly go off what the chart tells me. I've got some things I do to make sure that it's going to be smooth. To me, the chart is kind of a starting point, and it's usually pretty close, but sometimes on some cars I find I need to add or subtract a shim here and there to get it to be how I'm happy with it. Anyway, so I went ahead and got those mocked up at least, so I still need to pull them apart, and the owner has most everything for this bus, but he did not have the seals that go here and here. He had some of the, I don't know what I'd call like O-ring style ones. I don't know where they are. They're around here somewhere, but they don't really fit that well. They leave kind of a big gap between the end of the torsion bar and the spindle assembly here, and it would just let grease and stuff like that. So I've got some proper seals of those. I think I'm going to get them from Eddie maybe tomorrow. But anyway, so to me, the difficult or time-consuming part of this is figuring out all the shims and stuff like that. So now, when I get those seals, just need to pull it back apart, and then usually take like an acid brush with bearing grease on it, and grease up all the shims, grease up the link pins, grease up everything, and then put them together for real. And yeah, so that might happen tomorrow. We'll see. I definitely am coming in tomorrow, and Eddie said he thought he might have 4 of those seals that go where the link pin, where the link pins meet the arms. So I did that on this one today, and the other thing I did was I did receive a package. So I think I mentioned before, somehow he sent the bus down here accidentally, I guess, with big nut rear drum and brake assemblies, which are not right for this car, and the transmission is a small nut transmission, and that's referring to like the size of the axle here and the nut that goes on it. So this is basically Beetle size, small nut. So small for a bus, regular for a Beetle. But yeah, as far as like the size of the axle, size of the nut, and then the bigger ones were considerably larger, so big nut, small nut. Anyway, the brakes he sent down were big nut originally with the car, and let him know that, and he sent down most everything we need to do to put it together with the correct small nut setup. So that stuff came in today, and then I spent some time sandblasting stuff, getting it ready for zinc plating and collecting parts for that, and the brake levers, all that good stuff, brake adjusters. And then here are his backing plates, which again are correct for a small nut transmission. So I will send those off to powder coating, and he's already got the seals and stuff that go on the end cap. So yeah, pretty much everything's there. Just need coating, powder coating and plating, and then that can all go together. And I think the rest of the brake parts are all around here somewhere. He supplied those with the bus as well. So that is pretty much what I did on this one today. So the blue buggy, I didn't end up driving it again today because I charged the battery quite a bit yesterday and then some more this morning, and it was still pretty flat. It still wouldn't really turn over the buggy very well. And then what occurred to me was I took it to O'Reilly's for them to test, and they confirmed the battery was actually fine. It was just very low. And then what occurred to me was that the battery we have for this is an AGM battery. And this charger that we have, which is approximately 5,000 years old, this thing is made for old school lead acid batteries, 6 volt or 12 volt. There's no way in the world this thing is charging an AGM battery correctly. So I left the battery with O'Reilly's, and they charged it up for me, and I just literally got it back like half an hour ago. So tomorrow, this puppy is going back in the blue buggy. And then probably, assuming that that all goes well, I may actually spend some time driving this thing around tomorrow. So there will definitely be a day in the life episode tomorrow, and there may be a video of me driving this crazy beast out on the street. So stay tuned tomorrow for some Vintage Classic Specialist content here, maybe including driving this thing. This one, I could have driven it today, I suppose. I did charge its battery up, but I was just busy kind of with this and that. So I may actually drive that one tomorrow too. So who knows? I may be crazy tomorrow and test drive 2 customer vehicles, which you guys know I kind of dread, but it's got to be done. So yeah, maybe tomorrow, not making any promises, I'll have a driving video of this one and driving video of this one, and some other day in the life content. Well, let's see what else I did today. So yeah, pretty much pulled the battery out of that, took it to get it charged. And on this guy, the beautiful Ruby Red 67, I started working on his front suspension today. So we already had his front beam painted and everything. And then I rebuilt trailing arms from Brian over at Washburn's Metal. So I went ahead and installed those with the seals. Got the seals from Wolfsburg West, of course. And then I ground some paint off his steering box and the beam where the two mate, because you need a ground there for the horn to work. So did that, and then mounted up his steering box, just kind of loose for now, but went ahead and put it on there. So the beam is pretty much ready to go on the car, just for sake of it weighing a little less and being a little less cumbersome. Usually what I do is I wait and put the spindles and stuff on after the beam's on the car, just because it is a little less heavy, less cumbersome that way. So I don't know if that's going on the car tomorrow or not. It may not, because like a bozo, I ordered all these parts to put on the front beam and the transmission and rear suspension, all this stuff. But the one thing I forgot is the little rubber pads that go here. There's a pair on each side of the car, and I forgot to order those. I don't have them, and those have to go in, at least the lower ones, have to go in before the beam goes in, because they get sandwiched between the top of the beam and these little mounting pads here. So sometimes it's hard to think of all 10,000 parts that you need all at once and get it all in one order. So I will get those early next week, or maybe I'll get lucky and Eddie will have some. If not, then I have plenty of other things I can work on tomorrow. Trying to think what else I did today. I think that's pretty much sums it up, other than running some errands, which of course is boring but necessary. Picked up a crap ton of zinc plating today, which is where this hardware here came from for this beam. Got lots and lots of zinc plated hardware here. Some pretty nice eye candy. So there's the rear bearing caps and rear brake levers and stuff like that. The front stuff's around here somewhere. Anyway, yeah, lots of beautiful zinc plated parts. Again, mostly for the 67 Beetle, and then a handful of parts also for the mouse gray bus. So that's about it for today, guys. I'm gonna go home. Again, been here about 13 hours now. So time for me to go home, eat some dinner, put my feet up, and then come back tomorrow and repeat. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.